Welcome back, guys. In this video I'm going to talk about the 6 steps I highly recommend to do when you get paid. Most people don't make it past step number 2, but if you guys follow along with the video and you guys implement these habits into your payday routine, I promise you guys will find yourself in a much superior financial position. Let's get into step number 1. Step number 1 is your 401k and taking the employer 401k match. It is crucial because you're basically getting 100% gain up front the second that you guys take that match. Most employers will have somewhere between a 6 to 10% match. Taking the 401k match is a crucial financial decision because it provides a unique way to increase your retirement savings. The employer match is essentially a form of employer contribution to your 401k plan where they match a certain percentage of your contribution up to a certain limit. This means for every dollar that you contribute, your employer is essentially giving you free money that you can use towards your retirement savings. This can quickly add up over time, especially if you do it on a consistent basis and your employer provides a generous match. Additionally, 401k contributions are typically made on a pre-tax basis, so that'll help lower your taxable income and your tax bill. By taking advantage of your employer's 401k match, you can effectively maximize your retirement savings and build a solid foundation for your financial future. Always try and target the percentage your employer will match as a minimum. Next, the money probably gets direct deposited, but if it doesn't, I recommend you direct deposit to a checking account and use that checking account as a hub. Sadly, this is as far as 82% of Americans get. They put it into their checking account, they use that checking account as almost a savings. They'll pay off their credit cards, their necessities, and then like anything that they want, their Netflix, stuff like that. What I'm about to show you is you will have multiple things come out of this hub, and different automatic withdrawals that will go to different accounts. Let's go ahead and get into that. The first place that you are going to pay is going to be your necessities. So your necessities are going to be your food, shelter, transportation, healthcare, and utilities. Knock out those necessities first. That should be the first thing that you pay whenever you get your money. Just make sure that you're not throwing Netflix, you're not throwing going out with friends, and you're not throwing vacation down within this section. Because this right here, Netflix ain't a necessity, I promise you. The next step is going to be depositing 1 to 2 months' pay into an emergency fund, some sort of savings account, something that's not tied to your checking account. You're going to want this money somewhere else. It needs to be easily accessible, easily liquidated, just anywhere that you can pull it out within a matter of 10 to 20 minutes. Aim to get 1 to 2 months' pay in there as quickly as possible. After that, just slowly build it up, whether it be 10, 20, 30 bucks a month, or 30 bucks a paycheck. Just continuously put it in there. It will grow over time, but get to that 1 to 2 months of pay before you even move on to the rest of these steps. Biggest key to this step right here, the emergency fund should only be used in an emergency. So if you're going on vacation, don't just be like, hey, here's some money. Don't blow it like that. You're going to want to use it, let's say you have a toothache, you can't work, it's hurting so bad that you can't work and you have to go to the doctor, take care of that. That's whenever you want to pull out that emergency fund. Let's say you have a kid, they break their arm, yada yada. Who's going to pay for that? Guess what? It's going to be you. So you better use that money wisely. Like I was saying, about 1 to 2 months of pay, let's say you get laid off of work, anything in that scenario, anything where it's truly an emergency and it's not just you wanting something or you needing something like a new flat screen TV, don't do that. Your next step is going to be to pay off any debt that you may have. There is 2 key ways to taking care of debt. There is the snowball method and the avalanche method. With the snowball method, let's say you have a mortgage, a car payment, credit card debt, and you loaned a book from the library and you owe them 40 bucks. So with the snowball method, what you're going to do is you're going to take the lowest one there, so that library book that you owe 40 bucks on, you're going to pay it off first and then you're going to tackle the next highest one. The snowball method is going to be more useful if you're not that motivated or a self-motivated person. With the snowball method, it will also help you mentally build strength just because you're going to be seeing those get paid off. You're going to feel like you're actually making progress. The next method would be the avalanche method. This is the one I would personally use. Mathematically, it's going to save you more money than the snowball method, but like I was saying, if you're not motivated to do it, this right here is going to be the harder one to do between the two. With the avalanche method, what you're going to do is you're going to pick the one with the highest interest rate. So in that last scenario, it's probably going to be the credit card. Most credit cards sit around 20% interest. You're going to want to knock out that highest percent interest rate first, as it's going to save you the most money over time. After you get the highest interest rate, you're going to want to knock out the second highest, third highest, and then fourth highest interest rate there. The next step is going to be invest. Investing is kind of a broad term. It can be anything from crypto, real estate, stocks, bonds, CDs. This right here is the final step for a reason. for the sole fact you don't want to have to pull out of your investments to go towards your debt, or let's say you skip the emergency fund, you don't want to have to pull out of your investments early as it could cost you money. And then if you were to have a credit card debt, like I was saying, most of the time that's around 20%. There's not any investments out there that are really going to give you a compounding 20% yearly. So I would always recommend, taking care of your necessities, hitting that emergency fund, and then taking care of any high debt. If you have a mortgage or something like that, you can kind of skip the mortgage and then go into investing. But anything that's going to be more than 5%, I would always say pay off that debt before you start investing. If you did want to invest in stocks, I do recommend Robinhood, as it's very beginner friendly. I will have a link down in the description there. So if you want to check that out, I do plan on having a getting started on Robinhood video coming out sometime in the near future. When you do sign up, you do get one free stock, I want to say valued up to like $200 or $1,500. After you open the account, I recommend you start just by depositing a consistent amount. I would start off depositing 20 bucks a paycheck or 20 bucks a week. Consistency is the key, so like I was saying, add about 20 bucks a week if you can. That 20 bucks will turn into $10.40 after a year, and then if you get a return, let's say around 10%, you'd be pretty close to $11.40 after that. So I just recommend consistently deposit. I wouldn't just throw in lump sum and then wait a few months and throw in another lump sum, because that consistency is going to beat out every time. Whatever you have left after you take care of necessities, emergency fund, debt, and investments, that's where your wants come from. This right here is going to be your Netflix, your vacation. But you want to build that foundation first. You want to have that solid foundation. That way you don't have to worry about money. This right here is going to help you build a strong financial foundation, and it will help you last in the long term and not have to worry about money. That's the point of this channel. We're trying to get that financial foundation, to get to that financial freedom. So make sure that you're taking care of the wants last. I know people making $60,000, $70,000 a year, they're struggling with finances, living paycheck to paycheck. It's more than likely because they're taking that money from their bank account and sending it straight to their wants. You want to run yourself like a business. You're going to want to budget. You're going to want to watch what you're spending everything on. You're going to want to sit down about once every 2 weeks to once a month. You're going to want to look at your finances, where all your money's going, and just try and figure out what you're spending your money on that you don't need to be spending your money on. Additionally, if you're having trouble making it past, let's say you can't get to the emergency fund because your necessities are taking up all your money, either A, try and trim down some of those necessities, or B, try and find a side hustle or try and get a second job. Something that you can directly take that money and throw it into that emergency fund, pay off that high interest debt, or throw some money into investments. That right there will 10x your growth a lot faster than trying to trim down the necessities. That's the route I would take. I would get a second job or start side hustles. That's what I do on the side. I just try and make as much money as I can. If you know anybody who could use this advice, please share that video with them. It could change their life. I appreciate all of the support I've got on the channel so far. I hope you guys have a great day. Y'all make some money, and until the next one.